Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss Palms Casino, Hot Table, Pressure Shooting, 5 Suits. We also touch on Red Rock, Triple D's, Hardway Jack, Throat Slash, Raw Meat, Silver Linings, and Ed hops and hops and hops the six. Ed, good to see you, man. Sorry if you see this big line on my face, it's the mark from my pillow. From me sleeping that won't go away. I passed out. I came back and I'm like, shit, man, I'm so tired. Let me just sleep for like 15 minutes.
That turned into an hour.
That turned into like, fuck, Ed's going to yell at me. That's what it turned into.
I'm so mad at you. I'm deleting all my videos.
Ed, I had to wake up a little. So I've got Yerba Mate Peach Revival, which is like got some organic, 3 sugars. It's got some sort of organic caffeine in it. And 100% freeze-dried pineapple.
You had that before.
When we were talking to Dice Degen, which hasn't aired. It's freeze-dried. It's so good. It's almost like fruit popcorn. I fully endorse this. I tried all the different freeze-dried fruits.
I love
this. Is so tasty.
Pineapple.
This is really good, man.
How many carbs are in that pack? You
Okay,
told me before, but I don't remember.
9 grams of sugar in this whole thing. Calories 70. Carbs.
Total carbs.
Oh, 16 grams. It's not too bad, dude.
That's a half a day's worth of carbs.
What the hell? What are you? So, Ed.
How you doing, my friend? I'm tired. How you doing? Obviously, you're tired too. You've been sleeping.
I'm tired, but I'm trying to get my steps in. You know that? I decided I'm going to get 10,000 steps in a day.
That should be easy in Las Vegas.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I can easily walk to Bellagio from here and just check things out every day if I did that.
Is that 10,000 steps?
Dude, not even close. I walked there and back all day today. I've got 4,000 steps.
You should be able to do 7.
Yeah, so that's my plan.
Day's not over.
No, I got plenty of time because it's 6 o'clock here.
At least do 7. 7's a good number.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. So, Ed, we're going to talk to Bo tomorrow night. Right. We have it scheduled. But for the episode that's coming out on this coming Tuesday, which would be March 18th, dude. The episode that's going to be coming out then, here's what I'm going to do. So everyone knows. I'm going to have a little bit of what we recorded right before you came out here.
Okay.
Read like an email, right?
I don't remember.
I'm sort of telling what's going to happen in about 5 minutes. We're talking about an email that we got. And Ed, do you even know how funny it is considering what happened with the hard 10 and the 10 when we played? That email was prophetic. But
I don't even remember the email. That was last week.
I know. Well, we're going to do that. And then what I wanted to talk about, I specifically was thinking, we'll talk a little bit about the weekend and the event, but I wanted to specifically talk about Monday night. That has left I've had a lot of thoughts about that when you and I ended up fucking manhandling that table.
Yeah.
The more I thought about it, it's a moment you live for. It felt like we were on top of that fucking table beating the shit out of it. That's what I thought. You know what I mean? It's like one of those rare times.
I've been thinking about that one too, because it was the most recent.
Yeah, I know. It was same here. It's the last time I played. All right. So I'm going to read that email right now. Whether or not we put this on, I'm going to read this email. Okay.
Yeah.
From James A. Because this is I've heard this before. We should address it. It says, guys, there is so much good content when you guys talk about craps. Lately, it seems that all we, in parentheses, non-patrons, get is a bunch of fluff talk about hogs and baseball. By the time you get talking about dice, it flips to Patreon only. Episode 54 was so good, and just when we were about to hear a great comeback story, poof, the episode ends. Please limit the fluff to a minimum, and please don't cut the best part of a story off anymore. Keep up the great work, James A. Ed, I've been thinking about this, okay? And I think, James A., thank you very much. Thank you for emailing and listening to the show.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Appreciate both
We
efforts.
totally listen, Ed. I think what James A has done has led me, after some thought, to something which I think might be pretty cool because I was toying around with it. I said this to a couple people that aren't signed up to our Patreon. I'm like, listen, just show up. I'm going to put a bet down. We'll take a risk, and then you could sign up to our Patreon, right? This has got me thinking for the 10-ton two-way 10 challenge. I think I'm on to something, dude, and I want to hear me out, okay? Because James A led me to this, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm listening.
Well, first of all, James, I'm just going to preface this. Most people have absolutely no clue, and it's not your fault, about how long this takes to do. There's a lot of work that's involved. Okay. That said, I think for anyone that's, let's say, a Patreon, anyone, you can be a subscriber for all the content, or you can just be a Patreon free subscriber. Ideally, we want you to be paid because it helps with the show, gives us a little, carrot, like a little rabbit we can just nibble on and just like, keep the hamster wheel going and pumping out the episodes. But this is what I'm thinking. At any Patreon subscriber, free or not free, I'm going to do this. If you happen to be on a table with me at the same time, you can just invoke the 10-ton two-way fucking 10 challenge. And this is it, Ed. I will put up, check out these rules, $100 of my money will put at risk. Okay. And it can only be bet on, and the Patreon person makes this choice. It can only be placed on a place bet for the 10 or a hard 10. And it can only be bet in certain combinations, like no weird ones. It's either going to be like $50 hard 10, $50 place bet, or maybe just $100 place bet, or 25 hard 10, 75 place bet. Any combination of those in quarter increments, right?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. The Patreon person decides how that's split between those two bets, and it could be $100 hard 10. I shoot. We split the profits. Okay.
Yeah.
You all taken no risk. Depending on how your betting choices go, you could either pay for a couple years Patreon right there, or you could come really close. Because, Ed, like, let's say you bet, you do 50-50, right? 50 hard 10, 50 place bet 10. So the 50 on the place bet comes in. We both made $50, right?
Yep. Yep.
But if I hit the hard 10 at 50, that's $350. We both made $175. You paid for Patreon,
Plus
and you made
hit
a
the
couple
10.
bucks. You know what I mean?
And you hit the 10.
That's right. And you hit the 10. So then you made another $50. So you're on your way to 2 years right there. And that's what I think we should do. Dude, I'm going to do it. Okay. Because it's not like everyone's going to be, all the pay are going to be at the table at once, but I will gladly.
You're going to have to take out a marker.
Dude, no, but listen, I'm invested in this too, because I will make that bet and I'll split it. I'll take the risk, because that's a little incentive for anyone that's thinking about, you got to be on our Patreon for free though, at least. And then if you are a Patreon member and you're on a table with me, let's do it. That's an automatic, let's do it. You get it once a year. It can't be every time.
Yeah, you get one shot a year at it, right?
One shot, I shoot it. You decide how it's going to be bet. So, you want to take the safe way out and only put it all on the place bet. You're going to have to figure out how you want to divide. But I like that. Don't you? It's a little.
Yeah, I like it.
I know there's going to be people that I play with, probably Mad Hatter, all these people that come out here. Let's do it.
Yep. But they only get one shot every 12 months.
One shot every 12 months. But so if you're on a table, just give me the word. We're going to do it. And you got nothing to lose. And some Patreon episodes to game, the extended versions.
Yeah. And John, I feel your pain because
it's James.
James. Okay. James, I feel
but
your
I'm
pain.
sure there's a John there too. But yeah.
John and James, JJ.
But what do you think of that? I like this idea for Patreons.
Can we do that when I'm in Vegas for me?
Dude, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I can pass my shot if I wanted to, if we're both on the same table. Or they can,
I
you
don't.
know what? If we're both on the same table, they can just decide.
If you're throwing that one set, I'm gonna bet the hard 10, $100.
Hell yeah, dude. I told Bump John, always bet the hard 10 on me. And he didn't. And I hit the 10, a hard 10, and then I parlayed it and then I hit it again. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you. And that's, by the way, that's nice having a crew. Like, I know when I see Bump John, I know his shot so well now. Are you using that set? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, great. If I immediately see something, I'm like, okay, Hardway's here, 6'8". Ed, I cleaned up on his roll the other night, so much more than he even cleaned up on it
Sure.
because I know his play
Yeah.
so well. And that's what's really nice. I've never had someone that I've ended up shooting that much consistent dice with. I've seen them on, seen them off, and then you see they have dominant numbers with when you know that they're throwing with certain sets. Just like I know I've only been sticking with that one column, Ed. I'm just in that column, 5-6, 6-5, 2-1, 1-2, 5-4, 4-5. They're all in the same column. And there are some similarities in between that. Whatever it is, I just know. And I'm like, dude, when you see this, you should be okay. Let me tell you this. So the other night I made $5,000 on my roll, my first roll. Bump John led off, open table at the Palms. He led off. He hit a great roll, dude. Immediately started betting hardways with him because I know when he hits it, he's going to hit a lot of them. So I was already up $700 by the time I got the dice, Ed. My fucking first roll, dude. I just was killing hardways. Bunch of points. And I know when I start throwing a hardway, I'm betting them all quarters. And then we're just up and up. I'm taking 100. I'm always taking something down, but I'm always pressing it up. And dude, and that's when I hit the small. So in a couple rolls, I was up 5,000.
Well, my biggest wins because Hard Rock doesn't have the prop bets or doesn't have the feature bets, bonus bets. Who knows if they ever will? You get on a run of hardways, you gotta jack it. I mean, you just like Hardway Jack. You got to jack it.
Yeah, dude, you do Hardway Jack. Oh, wait, dude, what were you gonna say to James A? I interrupted you about.
Oh, I feel his pain because I listened to the free version too.
Oh my God, Ed, we could do this for you. We could do this for you when you come out there because you're not even signed up to the Patreon. This is great, James A. See what you're doing? This is amazing, Ed. I'm gonna put up $100. You're deciding where it's gonna go when I'm shooting. You call it because we're gonna be playing. I wonder how you're gonna decide. How are you gonna do it, Ed?
I want 100 on the small.
No. It's only the.
But you can
10.
split it. We're gonna split it.
You could go 10
bucks each.
10 or 10. It's got to be
Okay.
on the 10 or the 10. How would you split that?
Who said I would split it?
Oh, would you just bet a hard 10 or a 10? You got $100.
You're giving me a free bet.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to pay 7-1.
Yeah.
Why would I take
Because-
the 2-1 bet? Why would I take the 2-1 bet when you're giving me a free 7-1?
Because you got two more ways to make that.
I can make my own $10 bet.
Yeah, but still.
I can hop to 6 4s for $5 a long time.
All right, you're putting it on the hard way.
I'm putting it on a hard 10.
I like it, Ed. Going for the.
I'm going to put it on a hard 10. I'm going to hop to 6 4s.
All right, you got nothing to risk, everything to gain.
See, that's the way I think about it. Not everybody thinks about it the same way. That's the way I think about it. Are you giving me a free bet?
Yep, giving you a free bet.
I want the highest payout that I can get. I'll hop to 6-4 to cover the what ifs.
You'll make something.
As long as you throw a 10. As long as you throw a 10.
Yep. Funny, man. I had a 20-something roller on my practice table, and I kept track. And when I hit them all, I had thrown 9 6s, 8 9s.
Is that normal? Is that your normal numbers?
No, not 9s. 6 is a lot. 6s and 8s. It's usually even numbers. It was odd to have the 9s, but only 2 10s, 2 4s, and then scattered for the rest.
Yeah.
It was interesting to do that. Okay, so what about James A? You feel his pain?
I do feel his pain. Here's the situation. We're trying to entertain people. And I think we do a pretty good job of entertaining,
Yeah, you entertain me.
apparently. Huh? Well, I mean, we are who we are. So don't blame me, James. I'm not the editor,
Oh God.
but
Yeah.
you wrote the editor, which was a smart thing.
Yeah. You got
So
to the source, to the guy that's
you got,
at fault for keeping
yep.
the good craps talk away from
But
you.
at the same time, we also have an obligation to those people who support our work to make sure that they get the quality they deserve, right? So there's a thin line between where we cut it and where it doesn't get cut. And I have, 10 ton knows all that. So that's on him. But
I pick those spots deliberately to frustrate people. In fact, so many people they're like, God damn.
I know, but there's also the option on Patreon to, if you're really, really intrigued, you don't have to join Patreon, but you can pay for a very small token amount, a number, whatever that number is, you've got it set.
I have it set for the lowest we can actually charge an episode. Literally,
So
Ed.
if you really want to know what's on the other side, you can purchase it by itself.
Yeah.
Correct. And it's a low deal.
What was it like?
But if you think
$4,
about it,
$3, 3.5.
I don't know. I
It's
don't know.
nothing.
You got it set. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But if you think about it, the Yo 11 Patreon level,
Yeah.
that's not even a 6 or an 8.
Wait, hold on.
You got to add a buck to that to get to the 6 or 8, right?
That's $132 a year.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And you'll walk up to a casino and you'll bet 96 across 5 times and get PSO'd. And that's very, very minimal entertainment for that price. I mean, it is what it is. We're not trying to frustrate you on purpose,
Yeah.
but we are trying to add value to the Patreon side because those people support us.
And that, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Listen, it's not life changing. It's not even any changing. It just like helps keep it going.
It's another order of dice to put out there. It's another a new item. You just said the other day you've ordered patches and hoodies.
Yeah.
I might need a hoodie tomorrow night. It's going to be cold in Vegas.
Hopefully they're ready. I can go pick them up tomorrow. Ed.
Do that. I'll wear them. This little thing. I'll wear them.
Yeah. So anyway, but you know what, James A., you are going to live in infamy now, and people will end up thanking you for this because we are now making that official, that 10-ton two-way 10 Patreon challenge. So James, if you do see me,
and we're going to name it. We're going to name the challenge. Just walk up to 10 ton and say, I want the James A.
The James A. special.
How's that? That work?
The James A. special. And honestly, I don't think that's going to be a popular item on the menu, dude.
Yeah, you're going to run out of black chips.
But I can make money on it. I'm confident on that. So let's bring it, dude. And then everyone wins. You know? I like it, Ed. You're even going to do it. And then I'm going to force you to subscribe to our own Patreon, just like Bo did. I know people don't like to part
My credit
ways
card
with,
keeps getting
I
declined.
know people don't like to part ways with their money, but this really helps. There's so much time that goes into this. This is like a whole full-time.
Legitimately. I mean, we spend a lot of time basically every week between us just talking, getting content, making content, recording content. But for you to make, let's just say, an hour show combined, right? Regular show, Patreon, extended version. I would hazard a guess that you've got somewhere between 10 to 14 hours.
Yeah, anything like that for sure.
At least. Now that you know what you're doing. It was more than that in the beginning.
I listened to these episodes easily 5, 6, 7 times over and over. Right there. There's like 6, 7 hours, let alone the actual work that goes into it and then figuring it out. It's actually mind-boggling. I mean, people don't realize how much it goes in there, but it's a lot. Again, I don't know if I would just do this amount of work for absolutely nothing. Just, it's almost like the gesture means a lot. And it all goes right back into everything.
This is not a money-making proposition by any means.
Well, underwater. And you
Well,
were flabbergasted last year when I told you how much,
mm,
So again, big picture here, we're just trying to put out content I selfishly wish I had when I was learning or when I was playing or want to listen to. But I think we're the only game out here anyway doing it. But James A, you will probably, by the time this comes out, you will have heard the episode for next week, which is really, Ed, it's really about craps.
good.
It is. It's like 50 something minutes, but it's really you yelling at me. And we have a really good, lively debate on playing craps. And a lot of times, my friends that listen to the show, there are a lot of beginning players. And they're like, dude, you are not for beginner players. There's a lot of stuff we don't understand. I get it. But Ed, we got to mix it up.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't help it. We can't help ourselves
Yeah, that's just how it is.
because we go down these. You got a plan,
Oh
and
my
I take you
God.
down some
Dude.
trail. I mean,
So this next episode that people already have heard it, dude. Ed, it is so funny, man. Oh my God. It's called Playing Craps on the Moon, dude. I can't believe that conversation happened just so spur of the moment and you were just cracking up.
I don't even remember it.
I know. That's what's even great.
I don't
is
even
you
remember
were
us talking
wasted.
about. I probably was. I'm sure
I
I
know.
was.
It's great, dude. It's just great, dude. That was just funny. I was laughing after hearing it. And guess what? I'm finally listening to that thing we did with all these emails. I'm starting to listen to that. I totally forgot. It's like a new thing for me.
We got to do better.
Yeah. James A, we're going to do better. But look at what
Yeah.
happened. We just were like jamming right now. We came up with a Patreon bet.
Don't put this on the Patreon side either, please. I want him to hear it.
James will never hear it. If I put this, that'd be funny. And that'd be funny if I put the cut. And Ed, we got this email from James A.
And
and then it cuts off. Force James A. I'm gonna force you to buy this episode just so we could hear it. Then maybe that's what I do. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And now the email from James A. And then it goes right into for an extended version. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that, dude. That would be funny.
That would piss him off.
That would be so funny, Ed. James A, maybe I'll do it. I don't know, but I should do it. I know I probably won't do it, but we should do it because that would be the best, right, Ed?
That would be funny. Oh my God. Thank you for your input. I do feel your pain and I understand where you're coming from. And at the end of the day, we're just, we're only a little over a year into this and we're trying to figure our ways through it. I mean, that's all we're doing. I mean, having fun with it. People are listening, they're joining, and we are the Joe Rogan of craps. People just don't know it yet.
So I don't know where to begin, but how do you like everything?
Thought it was a fantastic weekend. I've had several good, nice either emails or text messages from several of the participants, attendees to the event. And, it's always nice to know that it's always good to get positive feedback, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I really do, each and every one of them.
Right off the bat, before I forget, I got a question. And this question was Moonshine, who was fucking awesome to see, dude. Okay, he asked, what tables in Vegas have a similar bounce to his? Now that you've been out here a couple of times. I know when he had his table built, he changed the underlayment to be more like a casino. What did you use?
Oh, I've got 2 layers of felt under mine, but the landing zone is crushed. So it might be the equivalent of 1 layer of felt.
Is there a table in Vegas yet that you've played that's the most similar to yours? It's a good question, right?
It is a good question. I mean, and it's hard to quantify what the right answer would be. I played a session at the Red Rock on Monday, midday, and I really, really liked that table. And I would say that one's pretty close to mine.
Really? See, now you're making me want to go back up to Red Rock where I haven't played at since we've had this podcast. I have not played there in a long ass time. Those tables are high.
I did not notice the height, but I was shooting, in all fairness, I was shooting from stick right 1, and I was not shooting into the turn down there. I was shooting straight down the line.
And stick right 1.
Yeah. So I was.
How'd you like Red Rock?
I liked it. In many ways, it reminded me of the M on the inside.
There's a sort of a similarity.
I mean, the color, I guess it's the color scheme. I mean, I know they're laid out different. I know the M's got a little more panache about it, but
Well, I mean, listen, man, that's the fucking jewel of the station casinos.
yeah.
They consider it that. That's where I always used to play. It's nice going in there. It's pretty chill. They've got a great sushi spot, Blue Ribbon.
I mean, I don't care about sushi, but I would go back there anytime I go back to Vegas. I'd be happy to go back to Red Rock and play on those tables.
I'll go check it out with you. It's been so long. I mean, I had to go up there. I've had a couple meetings up there in the past year. That bar is nice. The lobby's really nice.
I never got past the tables. I mean, you walk in the door and the tables are right there.
Yeah, I'm
Basically,
going in through the hotel. There's a great bar.
I didn't see any of that stuff. All I did was because I was with Dice Doctor Dan.
I don't know Dice Dr. Dan.
Yeah, and that's the first time I'd met him. We had breakfast, and then we went.
DDD.
Triple D is my favorite bra size.
Triple D's.
Hooterville, baby.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I liked it. So that was close. The Palms was pretty close to mine.
Dude, I feel like the Palms is kind of close to mine. Not really, but kind of. It's in the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean yours is a little more hard,
Yeah.
but those are good tables.
You think I should put another thing of felt underneath my
Depends on if you want to protect the. I probably wouldn't unless you can try it when
I'm
you
changing out the
change.
felt when I can. I'm gonna get table maker to I gotta tweak this felt. There's a couple things that bother me on this felt.
Well, get it tweaked so I can order one.
You know what I can do? What I also gonna add underneath the casino tiers? I'm gonna add the TM because I got that officially trademarked
Did you?
this past week. Yeah, pretty sweet, right? I'm gonna post that.
Yeah.
Took it over a year.
It needs to be trademarked.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna make the hops different, like the palms. You see those palms had nice big hop circles
I
horizontally
was
across.
very familiar with their hop
Yeah,
circles.
dude. All right, so Ed, let's talk. This is what got me thinking on why we're talking before we even talk to Bo, is because that session. First of all, there are going to be people that attended the event that are going to hear about this and go, Tenton, why didn't you let us know if you were still in town on Monday that you ended up going to play? And here's the thing. This was very, very unplanned. In fact, how this whole thing went down
You
on
had
Monday,
to talk me into going there because I did not want to go back there.
I was so late. I didn't walk to Caesars. I drove to Caesars because you were there and you happened to be there with Jay Bird and Camper.
Yep.
When I got there, I didn't even buy it. I only had a couple $100 to put down on the table. When you shot, you were like, well, where do you want to go? And I said, I want to go to Palms because I want to get all my fucking money back.
Yeah. You did say that.
I did. But I did say, I'll go anywhere you want to go. But I want to go there because I want to get my money back because, and this is something else we should touch on, because I did give them a lot of action at our game.
Yep.
A lot. I mean, I was down across those nights, down close to 7 grand, a little the night before, but yeah, a lot.
Yep. I wasn't down that much.
No, but the reason being, it's like, first of all, that was really cool what they did. I don't have any complaints about the Palms, and they were very welcoming and they were very accommodating, and it was just great. I have no problem with any of the dealers that were on the table, and the fact that they allowed us to play. Some people play at a $15 level, which was
Right.
really cool. I mean, our sessions as a group, and let me ask you, it's pretty common for group sessions to be brutal. At least so far, it seems like, because that is playing a pack table, not many people. I would say day one, you were the one that had I'd say the biggest hand from straight out.
Yeah.
The second day, I'd say Jaybird did. And then you.
You weren't there for my last roll.
I had taken off because I had already hit my stop loss. I
Yes.
took a bath on that day too, and I just had to get out of there. It was to the point the table was so cold that I looked out. I was the only one giving them action, which I felt like I needed to for a lot of reasons.
You shouldn't. All right. So there's a couple of things about these group play things people need to understand. No one's making you bet. and you're under no obligation to make a big bet or any bet. There were point in times where I stopped betting.
Ed, I agree with you, but I'm also going to disagree in that I feel like someone's got to be giving this action because I want to maintain that relationship with them to be able to go back and do this and make sure that they know someone's going to be playing and it's not, even though the table is cold, it's not going to be, no one betting. At least there's some action going on. That's what I feel like.
I mean, I understand that,
Virgin,
but
it's a shitty table. And sorry to interrupt you. Virgin was a horrible table. So it didn't fucking matter because we know we're never coming back
right,
ever. Right.
ever.
But here you can see why I like it because that's what I normally do on that table.
Yeah, and see, but you didn't even shoot
No. And
on the first two sessions. You were over in the turn. I'm from straight out, not my position. Even though I knocked off what I don't know, two or three decent rolls.
yeah.
One really nice roll.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great roll on Sunday night to close out, and I
Mhm.
colored up immediately.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's a fair. I think a little more planning maybe needs to go into where we shoot from. I mean, are we there to shoot? Or are we there to win money?
You know
If
what?
we're there to shoot, I don't have to bet.
That brings up a great point. And it's sort of you're in a predicament because either way, I loved it being the both nights. I actually loved being there next to you, chatting with you the whole time at that table, and then the
Yeah,
next night being next to Bo. It was fucking
yeah,
hilarious being next to Bo, talking to him about betting, just little things that
right,
you
right.
even learn or pick up. You're talking about the game with someone like that. These opportunities you don't get.
Yeah, you're having to play that game that's being tossed right in front of you. You know, you got to have all your wits.
Yeah.
And to some extent, it was good for the attendees. I mean, they were put under pressure because they got to choose their spots, they got to shoot, right? But at the same time, they got to see how we bet it.
Actually, I think that's a lot. When I was over down talking to Bo, I'm like, man, I know. I think the silver lining was that maybe there is an appreciation, and there were all different levels. There are some seasoned players there, obviously seasoned.
Yep,
You know what I
yep.
mean?
And there was some really, really raw meat there.
Yeah, exactly, dude. All right. Raw meat, dude. And especially into that situation, not only it's a pressure situation.
High pressure.
I would have been so remember in the one of our early podcasts at the Cromwell, think about how long I've been playing even up to then. But I hadn't shot in a month because I was still going back to LA a lot. And
Yep.
I ended up going to meet up with Bo
And
and
Pappy
Pappy.
Van Winkle.
And Bo was laughing because my hand was shaking a little.
Yep. Yeah.
Even all that experience, I still haven't played in a month, so I had no real practice. And
Yep.
it's Bo, right? Who I had never played with. So of course you want to always shoot well, and you don't want to PSO. You don't want to. But given all that, I still felt the pressure, right?
Yeah.
So I totally related to what
Oh
these
yeah.
guys, dude, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, fuck, they must be shitting their pants. Again, not the
Probably.
guys like Moonshine, Wisco, Tex Arcadian. These guys that play a lot. These guys are, I would say, the seasoned guys. You know what I mean? That have
Yeah.
been
Yep.
playing.
Yep.
Not these guys. It's the guys that are new to the game pretty much, that haven't been playing for even less than a couple years. So that's what I mean. That is so valuable when you look back at it, just having to step up to the plate and do that. I'm very proud that they even did that because I would have been shitting my pants. I would for sure. I would have been so nervous. And you could see, even, like Odds Fellow, it got back to him. He was like, no, I'm passing. It's tough to keep it all together. And there's a lot to remember. They just took in all this information. So I think that's the silver lining, maybe having a glimpse of how much pressure can be on you, let alone forget about any money on the table, because there really wasn't a lot of money on the table that they were betting because this was just pretty much fresh rolls. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. There was some nerves. I know there was nerves with several of them. I don't know
Yeah.
about all of them. But I mean, and like you said, somebody finally just passed the dice, which was probably the correct thing to do at that point in time.
I think it's important for the people to shoot from the spots that they're going to shoot at, specifically for that reason. It's tough to create high pressure situations. You're going to end up hopefully finding yourself in high pressure situations. You
Right.
and I found ourselves in what would have been normally high pressure situations, but that's what I mean. I think there's a difference because at the end of the night, that would have been a high pressure situation, but it wasn't. That's what I mean. We were attacking that moment like we were fucking beating that table to the ground, you know?
I was beating it as hard as I could hit it.
I know, same here. Dude, I mean, on your roll, at one point of your roll before mine, I had a $2,500 nine, $1,800 eight, $1,000 five.
And I have no idea. And that's what people have to learn is I don't know. Did you watch me at all in between rolls during that weekend?
Yeah, you just chill. When I think
I,
of you,
I'm
you are
just
very
I'm
different
just
from me.
I'm just staring at the table. I'm staring at the point. I'm thinking about the next shot. I'm not worried about what anybody else is doing but me and my shot.
Yeah. I noticed there are so many differences between how you and I play.
Yeah, you're Mr. Lively.
Mr.
You're
Lively?
you're chatting it up with the box and you're chatting it up with the dealers and
But when I'm shooting, it's different. And you didn't really get to see me shoot that much.
no, I did not.
I don't like delays. I don't like delays within my shot. And we saw that.
We had delays.
We'll talk about it. And I gave you a sign, which I appreciate you following. I'm glad you did, of turning your bets off. That was just a suggestion, but it was true, right?
It was in your if it was in your head, I had to turn my bets off. Nice thing is the other attendees, Moonshine, Wisco, I think were on my end. When I turned off, they turned off.
Yeah, saved everyone a lot of cash. I brought down tons.
Here's the thing.
Okay,
Here
go
was
ahead.
here was the thing that turned the table because the table was choppy at best. You had a nice
We're talking about the Monday table then. Are we jumping in? Are we
yes,
jumping into
yeah.
this?
Where
All
do you
right,
want to
let's jump
go?
in.
Where do you want to go?
Okay, let's talk about that Monday night. Let's talk about that. A full length extended version of this podcast is available exclusively on our Patreon page. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-07. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.